In this lesson, we're going to learn how to smooth skin. So first, I'm going to get rid of this hair layer because I don't really want to remove that hair. And the next step is we actually need this blemishes layer and the original photo to become one layer. So to do that, we can select both of them, right click and choose merge layers. But if we do that, it gets rid of the original layers and turns it into one new layer. Instead, when you right click and choose merge layers, hold down the option key and that creates a brand new layer. And I'm going to just create an archive folder and I'm going to put in these older layers when I'm done with them. And I keep them in the same order so that if I ever want to go back and mess with a layer or something like that, I have it available. All right, now this is a kind of a confusing process for smoothing skin. It's one that a lot of professionals use, and there's lots of ways to do it. But basically, what we are doing is ultimately blurring out and smoothing out skin. Now, you could go in here. There is actually a blur tool. It is under here, blur tool. And you could just click on your image and try to click, blur it out. But that's not going to look good. It's just going to look like your photo is out of focus. We're trying to keep our photo in focus, but actually just soften the skin. So here's the process. First, what you want to do is duplicate this layer. So to do that, you can press Command J, which is the keyboard shortcut. In one button, you duplicate it. Or you can drop it in this new layer button. We're going to call this skin. The next thing you're going to do is actually invert this. So press Command I to invert it. And then change the blend mode to vivid light. All right, confused yet? I bet you are. There are a couple more steps that are going to be a little bit confusing, but bear with me. With this layer selected, go up to Filter, Other, High Pass Filter. And now when you see this preview, you can kind of see the details of the skin. So let's zoom out here so you can kind of see. Let's get to her forehead where you can really see the detail. The lower this is, the more details you can see, and make sure you're paying attention to the preview on the left as well. So you want to get to this to a point right around 20 pixels or so, depending on the size of your image, until it's completely blurred. And that looks pretty good. We're going to add another effect. So go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And again, sort of the same thing. Look at both of these images and see when things start to blur, okay? So if we start at 0, then go up, 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 until the details in this window start to blur a little bit. For this photo, looks like around 8 or 9. That looks pretty good. Click OK. All right, so now you can see actually this layer, if we turn this on and off, it's blurring everything. It's softening everything. We want it to just affect the skin. So we're going to have to actually brush that on ourselves. So to do that, we're going to create a layer mask. And you can either drop this down into the layer mask and then invert the white to black by pressing Command I, or just by, from this step, holding the Option key and dragging this into the layer mask button. It creates a layer mask that's already black. And then what we do is with our brush tool, just at normal, we're going to brush this on, okay? So we're just brushing this on to where her skin is, okay? So be careful. You don't want to put this over everything. Whoops. You want this just to be where her skin is. And the good thing about this is it is a layer mask, so we can always erase a selection if we are selecting too much. Let's go down here as well. All right, so now it might be a little hard for you to see what we've done, but it'll be easier if we turn this on and off. So you can already see, if we turn this on and off, how much softer her skin is. All those details that we don't necessarily want to see are going away. So that's looking pretty good. But say we want to make this even more powerful, you can duplicate this layer and then maybe drop the opacity just quite a bit until it's at a level you like. You can also brush on or off parts. Maybe it's just her forehead that I think needs a little bit extra. So let's actually brush this off. And we're just getting that top of the forehead. Let's brush all this off. So this is just affecting her forehead. If we increase the opacity, you can really start to see what's happening. Just this area up at the top. And I think that looks pretty good. All right, so that's how you smooth skin. It's one of the many ways you can do it. And this is definitely one of those professional ways that you can do it as well that a lot of pros use. So thanks again for watching, and we'll continue moving on some more enhancements.